Our next storyteller of the evening, older and a balder version of me. Yaniv, please welcome him excitingly. Here he is.
Hey everyone, how you doing? So can you hear me okay? Yeah. All right, so I've got a story. It's not actually a story for all of you, but you can listen. It's a story for my dad, who's right over there. Come on. He made Alon. Alon made StorySlam. Give it up. All right, so some of you are younger than me, and here's what you don't know. You're going to turn out just like your parents. There's nothing you can do about it. You're going to be your parents. It's done. And when I was little, I didn't know that. And so the first thing that you do to not become your parents is you make sure that every decision you make, just make sure it's the opposite of what you think your parents would do. And so when I was a kid, that's what I did. And as I'm getting older now, I realize that I'm turning into my parents. I do shit that my parents do that fucking drives me crazy, and I do it, and it's inevitable, so it's going to happen to you too. One of the things that I do is I correct English on Israeli menus to the waitress, like she gives a shit. My dad does that. It fucking drives me crazy. I've been doing it for like 3 weeks. It sucks. Another thing I do is I make really random associations, totally uninteresting. I'll be talking to a guy named Shimon. I'll be like, I know somebody named Shimon. He'll look at me like I used to look at my dad, like what the fuck? So I'm turning into my dad. But here's how I figured out that it was inevitable and there was nothing I could do to stop it. I went to the States to go to college, where I met Hefziba, who's here. And I was like, I am totally not going to marry a Jewish chick. Because subconsciously, because nothing is going to piss my parents off more than if I like bring home somebody who's totally not Jewish, subconsciously. And so I'm going around college and I'm meeting women and none of them are Jewish. And then I meet this one girl. She's awesome, which is why I like her. But maybe she's also African. Maybe she's also like the farthest thing in the world from what my parents would think I'd bring home, right? Subconsciously, this worked out really well for me. So fall in love, she's awesome, we get married, we go to fucking Kenya in like the safari with like, my parents are there and they've got paint and, not even paint, it's like cow fat on their faces. It's hysterical. I don't know, we'll post the picture to your StorySlam thing. It's insane. My like Jewish American parents with their like red shit all over their like, with like, anyway. So we're there, and like the whole time, my parents are, they're having a blast, but they definitely have this thing about me having married this girl who's totally not Jewish. It's like, oh, it kind of sucks, but we love her. And the whole time I'm like, yes, I'm celebrating the diversity of, me doing totally what they wouldn't think that I would do. So while we're there, I hear my dad, he's talking to, don't read your phone, listen to me, this is for you. So while we're there, I hear him talking to people, and he's asking them all these weird questions. He's like, so I hear that you guys circumcise. What's that about? And they say, tradition. It's our tradition. We circumcise. My dad's like, interesting. And I'm like, okay, where's this going? So he's, he's having more conversations with more people, with her, like, with her uncle, the chief. And he's like, hey, I see you guys have a lot of cows, no vegetables. What's that about? And they say, we only eat meat and milk, but never together. And I'm like, where the fuck is this going? And my dad's like, interesting, And I'm, and I'm totally dressed in like Masai garb, with my like stick and my like gourd. And I'm like, what's he doing? He better not fuck this up for me. So, so like the ceremony is going on, and my dad's asking more questions. He's like, what's that thing over there? They say, it's a ceremonial horn. We blow it for our high holidays. My dad's like, it's a fucking shofar. No, it's not a shofar. We're in Africa. I'm totally not doing what you would want me to do. Anyway, on and on and on. And then the final wedding ceremony begins. And it's this intense, crazy shit, like crazy. And then like the chief comes out and he pulls out milk and honey. And I'm like, what's that about? And he says, oh, it's our tradition. Anyway, I eventually went to like one of the old elders of the tribe, and I'm like, you guys are totally messing this up for me. I am not supposed to be marrying anything having to do with anything. Why are you copying all our traditions? And of course she says to me, because Masai people are Jewish. And she pulls out the fucking Bible, and it's like totally there. It's like the Masai people went south when all the white people all went north, and we went south, and now we're all Jewish. And the point is, you can't get away from it. At the end of the day, you're going to turn out just like your parents, and even I ended up marrying a Jewish girl. Thank you.
I gotta say that I was at that wedding, and I have this like glim memory of my brother and me walking from the ceremony. I don't know why we were walking together, but I remember us walking together, and you know, he's like fully dressed in his garment, in his like Masai tribe garments. We're in the Masai Mara in Kenya. My whole family is dressed up. Like, it was beautiful. It was an amazing ceremony, and I wish it upon everybody in this room. But the first thing he says to me, basically, as a married man, is, "Beat that." So since then, subconsciously, I suppose, I've always wanted to find an Indian girl that will let me ride an elephant with her into our ceremony. So if there are any Indians out there, I'm available and ready for a commitment. Guys, we had 5 storytellers so far this night. Right before we